All right, you guys are good to go whenever you're ready.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Good
Molly?
to go? Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the Disability Advisory Committee for the City of Charlestown. Today is Monday, January the 12th, 2026, 5 p.m. on the dot. This meeting is being live streamed by Under Production Multimedia. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening, everybody. All right. Let's get some attendance in. All right, who do we have here tonight? Cindy Perkins.
Andrea Frazier, present.
Present.
Cindy McNeil.
And myself, Amy Benavides. All right, and all right, we do have 4 members present, and so we are good for a quorum. I just totally went brain dead.
Approve of agenda.
I mean, totally went brain dead there. Okay, we have an agenda that's been provided by myself tonight because we are currently without secretary. I need a motion to approve. Anybody? Anybody want to? Cindy?
A second.
Cindy and Cindy?
Yeah.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion approved. All right. This meeting should be pretty short and sweet. We've got quite a few out. Just for the notes, Ashley is out and Christina. Okay. Standing business. Our last meeting was November the 10th, 2025. Those notes have been sent to you guys by email. Did anybody have anything they needed to add or any changes to those? All right. And we need to take a motion to approve those meeting notes. Anybody? Anybody?
I'll take a motion to approve.
I will second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion approved. All right. Okay. Old business. Let's see. Updates on any ongoing city projects that we've got going on out there?
Would you like to update you?
Do you have any? Yep, yep.
Good afternoon, board. Couple of things to bring to your attention, and at least some that possibly need feedback. Tonight, we have the public hearing on the proposed comprehensive plan immediately following this meeting at the Plan Commission meeting at 6:30. That document is available through our Agenda Center. There is a link to it under the Plan Commission meeting for tonight to review the draft of that document in its entirety. The Plan Commission will be making a decision whether to recommend that forward to the council. So there's still the council has to adopt it at their February meeting with whatever edits. So there's still time for you to review that. That's just the 10-year forward-thinking plan that they've been gathering for several months now. So there have been a series of listening sessions, there's been stakeholder groups, there's been a public survey. We had an outstanding response on the survey. Over 600 people responded to the survey. So encourage the board to pull up that link through the Agenda Center of the Plan Commission meeting for tonight or attend the hearing to make any recommendations before it gets approved by the council. The Commons is supposed to start construction anytime. You might have noticed they've already started staging the orange cones to preserve the parking there in front of the space. I hear that's the permanent event space that we're building out here on the square. I don't remember if I had a chance to update you, but the redevelopment commission did authorize the extra expense of the switchback coming up from Water Street. So that will be accessible from 2 entry points. Both, of course, the parking in front, where there will be handicap spaces in front of the entryway here on the square, but also through the switchback up off of Water Street. They expect to have that done by early June. So you might have noticed that the handicap parking lot at Greenway Park was completed, so that is 100% dedicated for handicap parking. It's only a matter, it's a very short distance from that parking to the initial paved trail that allows you to enter Greenway Park. So that's done. We're pleased with how it turned out, and it did get used a lot during the winter festivities this year. So. The Family Activities Park Master Plan that you helped provide feedback for was accepted by the Redevelopment Commission, and we had received a debt reduction grant of $250,000, and they will start this year under construction. The 2 additions to that park will start with the pickleball court and a new brand new basketball court in that location. But as additional phases were developed, they took your advice under consideration and have adapted that plan. And then the final thing I have for you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have for me, but the final thing I have is the city council is considering a parking ordinance for city streets. The motive behind this came from a positive and pure source, in the sense that it is difficult for our emergency vehicles, our large fire trucks, our snow plows, and even our garbage trucks to get down some of our city streets, because we have an issue with people parking on both sides of the streets. There are some that are worse than others, but our staff did the best they could on a first run of just going through the city and systematically over a 3-year period evaluating every street for where parking could happen and where it couldn't. Now, this does not supersede subdivision controls. So if you live in a subdivision where there's a homeowners association, those rules apply. We're just adopting those rules for that neighborhood. But other streets have been designated as no parking or limited parking in that ordinance. That is available. If you go to the city's Facebook page, Brian put up a post where you can click the ordinance and read the amendment, the addendum that goes with it that lists the streets. We encourage you to look at that from an accessible standpoint and let us know any feedback. There is a jot form that you can click, but seeing as how you're on advisory board, you can also just email me any feedback you have. It is not the final document right now. It's just the initial first run of it. So the council approved it on first reading just to get it floated out there and for consideration. But they hope to take it back up in their February meeting for final adoption with any edits that need to be made. So I would encourage this board to go look at that parking ordinance and let us know of anything from the accessible standpoint that you see that we need to amend, or just as residents in general. And those are the updates I have for you. We can talk about upcoming events later in your agenda if you want, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I don't have any myself.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much, Dr. Mayor Treva. We appreciate you. Holiday events, comments, and suggestions. Did anybody have any? She brought up the parking being done that was over at the old H&R lot. Does that parking lot have a name? We need to name it.
We are happy to provide a name if you're talking about.
We need to
Okay, do.
we need to come up with a name.
Everything else has a name,
Instead of
so.
the-
Right now, it's named the old H&R
I
Block.
know, it's like but yeah, we need to come up with a good name for that parking lot. Do some kind of a voting event. But yeah, that we had I've seen a lot of different feedback. Some were happy, some were not. I think it's a good spot.
I utilized it and I loved it.
So I did too as well with Morgan. I had no issues. I think it's close enough. It's paved. I don't know what else you would provide that would be better at this
Agreed.
point to access the park.
Yeah.
I did post a very positive comment on the city's page as well because there was a lot of kickback on that. But we're not gonna make everyone happy, as you all know, but I feel like I have have a lot of needs with Morgan, you know, and getting her around, and I did not have any issues, so I love it.
I agree. We've used it with Carissa walking down, you know, as well. And there is, you know, the handicap parking as well over at on Spring Street in the bottom, you know. I feel like that's just as good as well too. I mean, you can't pull up to a park and just walk out to the bench and be right there. The point of a park is to be out and getting exercise and walking. But you know, I think it's great. I'm very appreciative that the city was able, and everybody involved in that, push that through. It was a long project, but you know, I'm glad to see it. It's nice to when you actually can see one thing's be talked about and then be discussed and then actually be done and you be using it. So, you know, we got to help with those suggestions for that, and I'm glad that that project is done and out of the way. And on to the next one, which I'll be excited on the square as well with the switchback will be nice. That's going to be great. And that's going to meet up with, there's going to be, we talked about that before, there'll be a walkway when you come down off the switch that can go across the highway to be able to get to that parking lot as well. So that's going to be nice for people when they come to the event, you know, to be able to get out of that parking and then just walk right up to. Other than that, did anybody else have any comments or?
I will say when I did utilize the parking there were a couple of cars that were not handicapped. And I think that might be an issue, which, you know, I feel like that's an issue you really. Anywhere you go.
We encountered that a lot of places.
Yeah, so that's something we just kind of need to keep an eye out.
If anybody's bad like I am, I forget to put my tag in the window.
Yeah, no,
I've been yelled at multiple times.
I'm the opposite. I keep it in my window when you shouldn't. So like I think that's just maybe on big events like that, just every now and then, just have somebody walk through and maybe and just check and see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had the opposite feeling about it because I parked there during the Halloween thing, and it seemed like people were they were aware this is just handicap. So look again before you back out, or look twice before you pull in, go slow. I just felt like people were being very considerate of using the parking.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you
Good.
said
Good.
that.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm glad you
something-
see positive.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially when it was such a huge crowd, because you
Yeah.
know how bad the crowd was for.
Don't talk to me about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was in bed all day the next day.
Cindy met me for the trailer treats, and I mean, I don't even know how. I don't know if anybody I don't think they were even doing an count. It was definitely way more than what was the year before, and I thought that was a crazy amount of people, but
Yes, it was a lot.
we had a good time. I think it was fun.
It was great.
The weather was nice.
I thought everybody was,
Yeah.
well behaved and appreciated
Yeah.
except for, some middle school kids who wanted to see how many times they could go to a booth. That's kind of to be expected.
Let's see how many times we can hit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's definitely. You can tell that every year that I've been, like, it's running a lot. It's running like.
I feel like it was a lot smoother this year than it was last year. We went through everything much quicker. It was a good flow.
I think so too.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of the same vendors, and so they know what's going on,
Right.
and everybody's kind of picks their spot, and they kind of stay there year to year.
And I think last year the park had just opened the equipment.
Yes.
And it was very fresh and brand new, and all the kids were there, and it just,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot just was happening.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. But it definitely was a lot smoother. I think all the city, even through, I can't give an opinion on how the Christmas stuff went because I was in the concession stand. So I did not get to be a part of any of the outside world. I will not complain about that at all. So I can't really voice my opinion on how it went for the reindeer night and the opening night because I was in there making gallons and gallons of hot chocolate and throwing it out the window.
Wow.
So, but I think just from what I've seen on social media, it was a pretty good, both events for the opening of the light up and the closing night of the reindeer were good events. Big crowds, and not chaos, I don't think, not, no kind of chaotic or crazy events. Like it's nice that we don't have any of that going on in our, in any of our events, So I don't have anything to add at this point for next year for those events. I think they're, running super smooth. They've done everything they can to accommodate, I think, with the parking and with all the things that can be done for the area. I mean, I don't know how it could be made any, we do welcome anybody to have any suggestions to reach out to any of us and let us know. But, I mean, just personally, like I couldn't imagine, myself being able to get in the park and get out any easier than what the city and the staff have worked on over the last few years to make accessible and even not accessible, just for everybody, I think. Because we have to think of everybody besides just the disability community too. And I think there's all kinds of the parking and everything everywhere has gotten so much easier with these events. Yeah. So if anybody has anything else to add or they don't, we can talk about, I'll let Andrea talk about if she has any updates for the Beyond the Village Parent Support Group that has kind of started back up.
So I have confirmed dates with Carrie. We're going to stay on the second Wednesday of each month at 5 o'clock. I'll get those dates to Brian. He can then put it on the city calendar. Typically I share a flyer basically that I create. So you guys feel free once you see that I share it to share it out. I'll try to send it to all of you. I think each time we've had it, we've had a few different people, and I'm looking forward to just continuing, and I think it's a great time to get together, talk about what we love, what we don't love, share ideas, and just, talk it out.
Yeah.
So we'll stay on the second Wednesday of each month, 5 o'clock.
Sounds excellent. And then we also welcome people even without any disability as well. Any parent, if they need, support and communication and just, adult conversation about things and no matter what age, or caregivers of any sort, we welcome those people as well to the group. Andrea does a good job at trying to organize a topic every month. And we talk about that a little bit and then move on to whatever everybody's, like she said, we've had different people every time, so we've kind of just let those new people lead the discussion and
Yeah, it's been more of a let's get to know you, get to know like what are your challenges, where are you coming from, just general back and forth and
Feeding off one another.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like to have a topic sometimes. I mean, that helps, give us some direction. But usually that turns into other discussions, and that's completely fine, so.
All right. So we will be having the one for January, will be
Well,
Wednesday. This
Yes.
Wednesday, 14th.
yes.
Yep, 5 to 6:30-ish. It's about, at the A&E Center.
Amy Center.
Yep. And last time we just met right there in the lobby because we just had the run of the building, so it just depends. There is a meeting room, so depending on if there's other events going on, whether we'll be like just sitting there kind of hanging out in the lobby, or whether we'll be there to the, when you walk in to the left in that first room there on the left. But yeah, so if anybody wants to come out and join us for that Wednesday, we would love to have you there. Any comments about that? Any questions? Anything? Okay. I think we could move on to new business, ladies. So our first thing with, let's move the election of officers down a little bit, and let's just do those other, because there's just a couple little things on there, and then that way we can do the election and then do the meeting schedule, and then we'll be good to go. Upcoming events, I think we probably will have one more meeting before the spring stuff starts to kick in. That's the goal when we get to the meeting schedule tonight. We're gonna try to schedule those out for the rest of the year, at least tentatively, so that we can get them on the calendar, and then if we have to make some adjustments, we can. But I think, the first kind of round of events is the Easter stuff. So
Yeah.
it's still a little bit early. We kind of talked with Mayor Treva a little bit before, and they're kind of working on some things still too with the Easter thing. So we'll just have a better idea that way when we come in, what we can do to help out for Easter. Is everybody good with that?
Mhm.
Okay. And then, did anybody have any additional items that didn't get added to the agenda before we came tonight for new business?
Mhm.
Okay, good. And then, I would say I would open the floor to public comments at this time, but we've had some public comments. Mayor Treva, do you have anything else you want to add? Okay, all right, so we can go right on over that since we are pretty quiet tonight. All right, so meeting schedule. I had a suggestion, is maybe how would you guys, at least preliminary, what if we just set it up for the odd months? When I was thinking about the events, kind of when they are, those months seem to kind of would work out if we were going to do anything, to help out with anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel that too, because you have what goes on in June. We would have
Yeah.
we would have it in May, so yeah, I feel like it works out.
So does that sound good? And then it would be the second Monday, 5:00, of all the odd months. So we would need to take a vote on that. So I need a motion to approve the meeting schedule for 2026 to be in the odd months beginning in March.
To approve that.
Cindy M. And can I get
I'll second.
Cindy P for my second? All right. And so all in favor say aye. 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 And okay, so motion approved. All right. All right. And then, so the last thing on the agenda for tonight is the election of our 2026 officers. Does anybody have a, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with secretary, or how do we want to start it? Is there a particular thing in order we have to go? I don't think so. Let's start with secretary.
Okay.
Does anybody have a motion for the new 2026 secretary?
I mean, I'll vote for Andrea.
Yeah, so Cindy would like to nominate Miss Andrea to be the new secretary. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to, I guess we need to take a motion for that, to approve that, right? Or do we just take, no, we just take a vote for that, right? Okay, so all in favor of Andrea being our lovely new secretary for 2026, say aye. Aye. And, all right, motion approved, or, well, vote approved for that. All right, so vice president is currently Ashley Tones. She is out tonight. I would like to nominate her to continue to be vice president. I'd like to take a vote for that. Is everybody in favor for Ashley staying?
Yes.
Everybody good? Aye?
Aye.
In favor? Aye. Okay. All right. And last but not least is the president. All right.
Well, if you're good, I would nominate you, if you're good with that.
Okay.
You seem to have a really good handle on everything. I like the way you handle yourself, so.
All right. Then I guess we need to take a vote on me continuing to be the president. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Vote approved. All right, so there are our officers for 2026, with our current members still being Cindy McNeil, Christina Gilkey, and Cindy Perkins. And then we are actively looking for a number 7. Needs to be a city resident, not just city address. That's where sometimes we come in with some issues with that. But we do need, if possible, we want to exhaust all efforts in finding a city resident. And this could be someone that lives with a disability, that is a caregiver for someone with a disability, that is a provider. Any of those 3, or all of the above, however it works out for you. Several of us are 1, 2, and all of the above. So if any of you all have any suggestions, you can, you do not have to email me. You can email Mayor Treva with your suggestions and the contact information of that person, and she will take care of that for us on figuring out about, if that person wants to truly be on the board or not. I've reached out to several people I just haven't really had, everybody seems to be so much busy this year. It's been hard, but if you guys have anybody in mind, like to get a mail, like to have us, we can find somebody on the, we can, I would think maybe that would be easy, maybe. I'd have to go to McDonald's and get morning coffee and strike up some conversation with some of the, or Copper Kettle maybe, I can go out. They're like, who is this crazy girl looking, but yeah. So if anybody has any, or anybody watching the meeting is interested, or if you would reach out to any of us, or reach out to Mayor Treva and we'll go from there. So if there is no other new business, old business, anything? All right, then I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
I second that.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion approved, and it is 5:30. Where you at?
I just realized that 3 of y'all's names start with A and 3 of y'all's names.
Why was I literally saying that in my